country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country roads. Hey, it's Nate with another piano tutorial. Today we're going to do Take Me Home, Country Roads by John Denver. I'm originally from the East Coast of the United States, and I have spent some time down south in the Blue Ridge Mountains. I can vouch for their beauty and magic. Anyway, it's a great song. I feel like there should be more songs that are love songs to places on Earth. It's really fun to play and sing. Let's just get into it. Okay, so let's start out with learning the 4 chords you need for the verses and the chorus. I recommend getting the chords and lyrics chart. I put a link down in the description that'll help you follow along and see where the chords line up with the words you sing. And just a quick note, this song is in the key of A major, so that means that C's, F's, and G's are sharped. First chord you need is an A major. Now, we're gonna do it like this, so that's gonna be an inversion on an A, so it's gonna be E, A, and C sharp, and then in the left hand we can just play an A, so we're doing single bass notes on the note that the chords are named after. We're also going to need an F sharp minor. It's going to look like that, just root position, F sharp, A, and C sharp. You can do an F sharp with the left hand for that. We also need an E major chord. It's going to look like that, E, G sharp, and B, E in the left hand. And then finally a D major chord. You can just step this exact shape down like that. It's going to be D, F sharp, and A with a D in the left hand. That's all the chords you need for the verses and chorus. So here's the chord progression for the verses. Now we are in kind of a slow 4/4 times, thinking 1, 2, 3, 4, and each one of those measures gets 4 counts, except for that one weird measure of D where it just says 2/4 time. There's only 2 counts there. So let me just count out that verse for you. We've got A, 2, 3, 4, F sharp minor, 2, 3, 4, E, 2, 3, 4, D, 2, A, 2, 3, 4, and then the next line starts A, 2, 3, 4, F sharp minor, 2, 3, 4, E, 2, 3, 4, then D, 2, A, 2, and then we would be leading into the chorus after that. Notice in the left hand it fit really nicely under 5 fingers there, using my thumb, 3rd finger, 4th finger, 5th finger. That's gonna get interrupted in a minute when we do the more active bass line, but if you're keeping it simple like this, that'll totally work really nicely. I'm gonna do that one more time. This time I'm gonna sing through it. I'm just gonna start adding a little rhythm in the right hand, just playing on every count, quarter notes like this. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Take me home. So that's where we would land in the chorus. Just notice because the first line ends with a full measure of A, the second line starts with a full measure of A, you end up staying on that A for quite a while. Like I said, we're gonna develop the piano playing pattern in a minute, but while we're at it, let's just look at the chorus, just doing this simple, easy quarter note version, because the chorus is no new chords. Here's the chord progression, really simple, looks like this. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama, take me home, country roads, 3, 4. That's all there is to it. Okay, cool. So that would work for a sweet cover of this song, just keeping it nice and simple like that. I will show you how to do the full piano part now though. First step to getting this is going to be thinking in 8th notes. So we've been just counting 1, 2, 3. This is my foot tapping. So we're going to start thinking about the space in between the counts. The upbeats are the ands, the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And first step here is going to be, we're just going to do the bass note like we were doing, but we're going to actually hit that on the quarter notes, and we're going to hit the right hand chord on the ands, the sort of upbeats in between each count. 1 and 2 and 3. So you're just going back and forth. Get a feel for that a little bit. Almost heaven. I'm going back to the verse now. West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. So that sounds pretty good. It feels a little repetitive on the recording. The piano as well as the bass player are doing what's a really common pattern in especially like country music and stuff, where the bass line goes back and forth between the root and the fifth. The fifth is, so here's like an A major chord here, root position 1. The fifth is the note that you would normally do like with your pinky. So we are doing an inversion on the A chord, which is a little confusing, but the fifth of an A is an E. Now we're gonna do that note, but lower. So we've got A and then E. I like doing this with my second finger and my pinky. And basically just for those 4 counts that the left hand was hitting, we're gonna go back and forth between the root, fifth, root, fifth. And then if you bring that right hand back in, it sounds like. So you can just get a feel for that. And then we're gonna do that same thing on each of the chords. It's a little easier to find the fifth of the other chords because the right hand's playing the regular root position chord. So here's the F sharp minor. So we're gonna be going back and forth between the F sharp, and then the fifth is this C sharp where your pinky's at in the right hand. But of course we're gonna go down to it. And I'm just kind of hopping my second finger to the root of each of these chords. When we get to E, same thing. It's a B is the top note on the right hand. That's going to be that low note you do there. And then, of course, kind of the same shape here with a D to the A. So take your time getting the hang of that. Take it slow at first, but when that all comes together, it's going to sound like this. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. And of course, it works the exact same way in the choruses. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. Just a little side note, on the recording, sometimes the bass player goes down to the fifth, sometimes they go up to the fifth, but that's a whole person whose job is just to focus on the bass part. Here, your left hand is doing it while you're also trying to do the right hand and sing. So I'm just keeping it really simple, always going down to the fifth. Still sounds good. Maybe now's a good time to mention, we skipped the intro. All the intro is 2 full measures of A major, and you can just do it like that. Just 1, 2, 3, 4, 2, 2, 3, 4. Then the first verse would start, almost heaven. And while we're really getting into the details of this piano part, one other thing that we can add is there's these little moments that go. They happen at the end of a lot of lines to lead into the next thing. And the way it works is there'll be a measure of A, and it'll be like 1, 2, 3, and 4, and. On the and, 4, and, you just walk up from E, F sharp, G. And that happens at the end of the intro, like after the 2 measures of A, 1, 2, 3, and 4, and almost heaven. It happens at the end of the first line of the verses. Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there. And then it happens again at the end of the verses. So that part is a little tricky because that's where the D and the A are crammed into the same measure. So there's only 2 counts of the A. So that actually happens as soon as you go to that A there. So like, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze, country road. So you don't even hit the right hand chord there. So that was taking me by surprise sometimes as I was practicing this. And unlike the verse, it doesn't happen halfway through the chorus, but it does happen at the end of the chorus to kind of lead back into the verse. Final detail I want to mention, this is super optional, but I noticed it on the recording and it's kind of interesting. Just once in the song, in the halfway through the second verse, it does this instead. Instead of the ba-da-da-da, it just does da-da-da-da. So it does this kind of chromatic walk up on F sharp, G natural, G sharp, and A. Miner's lady, stranger to blue water, dark dark and dusty. So you can throw that in if you want. Okay, so we're cruising through this now. Let's look at the bridge. Here's the chord progression for the bridge. It's mostly chords we've been doing. There's 3 new things though. First, we've got an E over G sharp, which has got that little slash in it. All that means is we're gonna do an E major chord like we've been doing, but the bass note, instead of just defaulting to the note that the chord is named after, it's gonna be that G sharp. So it sounds like that. It's a nice sounding chord. Then we've also got a G major chord. That's gonna be all white keys, G, B, and D. There's a little natural sign on that there because we're breaking out of the A key signature, and it sounds like it too. When we hear that G chord in the bridge, it's like, oh, it kind of comes out of nowhere. Finally, we've got an E7. So here's that E major we've been doing. To do the E7, we also need to have a D in it. So you could do it like that. I'm actually probably just gonna finger it like that with the E, G sharp, and D. We don't really need to hear that B in there, and it makes it a little easier to play. And one other thing that's a little different about the bridge is we're not doing that rhythmic pattern the whole time. The first measure of that first line, it just holds those chords, and then when you get to that A in the second measure, it will resume the pattern. And then in the second line, it does just holding the chords pretty much the whole time until you get to the E and the E7. Let me play it for you. I hear her voice in the morning hour, she calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. Driving down the road, I get a feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Country roads. Okay, so one little detail there. So this is like launching into the final chorus. I just hit the chord, both hands on the 3rd count of that measure, and then just rested on the 4th beat. So like, yesterday, 2, 3. Country roads. Yeah, that's all there is to it. After that, we've got a double chorus. It just does the chorus twice. And then we've got this outro. The outro is super simple. It's just measure of E, measure of A, measure of E, measure of A. It's gonna sound like, take me home, down country roads. Take me home, down country roads. So you can end there with just a big hit on beat 4. That's the song ending. Down country roads, 2, 3, 4. All right, awesome. Thank you for sticking with me. That's everything. I'm gonna play a full cover now so you can see how those parts fit together in the flow of the whole song. If you're not subscribed already, please do subscribe. Click that bell so you'll know whenever I put out new videos like this. Give the video a like, and also let me know in the comments what songs you wanna hear next. Okay, here's my version of Take Me Home, Country Roads. Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains, Shenandoah River. Life is old there, older than the trees, younger than the mountains, growing like a breeze. Country roads, take me home to the place take me home, country roads. All my memories gather round her, miner's lady, stranger to blue water. Dark and dusty, painted on the sky, misty taste of moonshine, teardrop in my eye. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home, country road. I hear her voice in the morning hour, she calls me. The radio reminds me of my home far away. And driving down the road, I get the feeling that I should have been home yesterday. Yesterday. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia, mountain mama, take me home. Country roads, take me home to the place I belong. West Virginia.